everyone, Nicole here again. I am just doing another trying to conceive baby number 2 update. So you all know that I had an ultrasound a couple of weeks ago and that it came back that I have PCOS, and now I also have a thickened endometrium or something along those lines. Now the doctor requested to see me, so I trudged off to the doctor on Monday. Cost me $35. I always make sure, like, when I go to the doctor, I save up everything that's wrong with me and just go to the doctor once and just get it all over and done with. Just because it's so ridiculous, the price of going to the doctor. Anyway, so he requested to see me. I went in and I was kind of nervous. I was like, gosh, what is he going to say? A lot of you put on my Facebook page about what you thought he might say, or what they did, or if you had it, what they did for you and stuff like that. And it was a whole lot less scary, which is fantastic. And basically, what he said to me, the first thing he asked me was, where are you in your cycle? And I said, well, I don't really know. I could possibly be cycle day, I can't remember, cycle day something. I said I could be cycle day but I'm not sure, because obviously I haven't let the cycle run through yet. I haven't seen if I'm going to get a period. I haven't done a pregnancy test. I don't know. Like, it's too early in my cycle to see if anything's happening. So basically he asked if we were going to be using any fertility treatment, and I said no. I said we'd really like to try and conceive this baby naturally, because this will also answer a lot of your questions too about our frozen embryo when we're going to use it. Basically, we want to try naturally because we know we might have a chance. So we're using the embryo as a last resort. I don't want to use it just yet. I want to give my body a chance to do things naturally. If I get pregnant naturally, that's fantastic. We will still use that embryo. No matter what, we will use that embryo. We just want to try the natural way first. But I said to my doctor, I was like, we're not looking at that option just yet. So what he said, what we're going to do is we're going to have an ultrasound. I always say that. It's not my husband at all. I am going to be having an ultrasound in 3 months' time to see if I have shed that thick lining, or see if it is still there. And if it is still there, then we will take some action then. So obviously it's not life-threatening, because my doctor didn't do anything about it. He was just like, you know, we'll see what happened, because if you were due for your period, it's normal to see your lining kind of thick. But if it's at the start of your cycle, you know, it's not meant to be that thick. I'll actually read my doctor's report to you. The endometrium is 16 millimeters, transabdominal and transvaginally. Transvaginally. That sounds really not nice. Or is it pronounced transvaginally? Could be transvaginally. I don't think they say vaginally. No focal abnormality demonstrated within the endometrium. That's good. Both ovaries are generous in size, measuring 27 mil in the right and 23 mil on the left, with multiple follicles and echnoic stroma. What is that word? Can you see it? You can't even see it. Don't worry. No free fluid or mass seen, so I guess that's good. Appearance of both ovaries suggestive of PCOS. I love how they say suggestive of PCOS. I thought it was just either you do or you don't, but apparently not. Clinical and biochemical correlation is recommended. Endometrium greater than 15 millimeter, either interval follow-up examination or earlier specialist review with a view to histological sampling should be considered. There are a lot of big words in this. There are so many big words in this. Anyway, basically they're having an interval follow-up examination, which means I am having an ultrasound in another 3 months. Yeah, so that's the deal with that. Anyway, while I was there and I was going to get my money's worth, I said to my doctor, well, I could possibly be ovulate. I think I've ovulated. I do basal body temping and it seems to think that I've ovulated. Can you get me a day 21 progesterone blood test to confirm that? And he said yes, because my doctor's fantastic and he gives me whatever I want. But of course it's not going to be a day 21 because I'm not a typical 14-day ovulator. I'm an 18-day ovulator, cycle to 18. And that takes me on to my next thing about Fertility Friend. Fertility Friend said that I ovulated on cycle day 18, which I was really excited about because when I always had my medically induced cycles, I ovulated on cycle day 18. So the fact that it kind of happened on cycle day 18 again made me think, oh, maybe I have actually cycled, or is it just coincidence? But the temperature rise was just so slight that I didn't even notice it until the 3 days. Because basically, if you're not familiar with Fertility Friend, you've got to have a 3-day temperature increase. So over 3 days, it's got to have been, a temperature rise, and it had done that, but it was only so slight, and I wasn't sure, and until I had logged in and put in my temperature that morning, and it goes, you've ovulated on this day. I was like, what? Really? I don't feel like I've ovulated. So I didn't really believe it. But then, so I would technically be 5 days past ovulation today, but, yes, and there is a big but, I put in my temperature this morning, and guess what? Fertility Friend has changed my ovulation date. So now I am only 3 DPO because it has decided that I ovulated on cycle day 20. And there has been a definite shift in temperature. So you can have a look at my charts. I'll overlay them in this video and you can have a look. So if you can see there, yeah, I'm now 3 DPO. I would much rather be 5 DPO, but not complaining if I'm DPO at all. That is exciting. I trust Fertility Friend. I've used Fertility Friend a lot, and it's been right. A lot of the time I have used it and it has said that I've ovulated, and it's been true because obviously I've been medically induced and it has had the thermal shift every time, which is great. I'm just a little nervous. I think I'm just a little bit pessimistic, and until I have this cycle over and done with, if it's even a cycle, then I'll believe it. That's why I'm getting the blood test to find out sooner. Will I take a pregnancy test? I'm going to be blunt and just say yes, I am. I am a pee on a stickaholic. Here is the link to my my pregnancy test that I took while I was in IVF, and as you can see, I was a bit crazy, really crazy. So I will probably start taking pregnancy tests next week sometime. Usually I'll take a test on 10 DPO. When I was pregnant with Roman, I got a positive at 10 DPO, so I'll try hold out till 10 DPO. I might even do one at 9 just for shits and giggles. I'm not going to run out of pregnancy tests. I have a lot of them, so it's all good. Just internet cheapies, which I have possibly had bad experiences with, but we'll just see. I'm just not getting my hopes up or anything like that. Yeah, but wouldn't that be so funny if I got pregnant in the cycle when it took so much effort, so much blood, sweat, tears, and years to get Roman? Wouldn't that just be so funny if 1 month after I stopped breastfeeding, I got pregnant? If you want to know some symptoms, yesterday I sat down and I had the most intense pain in my uterus. It was just incredible. I don't even know what it was, but it was extremely painful to sit down. It was extremely painful to lay down. It was like it was contracted. That's the only way I can explain it. It was contracted, like really tight. And that was a bit odd. I've never had that feeling before, so I don't know what that was all about at all. I've had some random spotting again. I can't even remember what day it was. I don't think I even charted it, but it was just one little fleck in my CM, so yeah, don't know what that's about. And other than that, my boobs have been a little bit tingly, but that could also, again, be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean I've ovulated. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm pregnant. It could just be my hormones being messed up. Basically, I'm taking all symptoms with a grain of salt at the moment because I just don't know. Okay, and the last bit of news is that my metformin has now been increased to 1,000 milligrams instead of 500. So I'm taking 2 tablets a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. So far, the 500 has been reacting with my body really well. I have not been ill. Occasionally I have, but that's because I've eaten something that's not good. It's very oily or very sugary, and then basically the metformin's telling me, don't do that. So yeah, so it's basically keeping me in line with my eating. So now I've increased to 1,000. A little bit nervous. Am I going to react to it? Probably, but we won't know until I try. So that's the dealio with that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I just want to say thank you all for all of your advice. A lot of you give me comments about I ask you questions, and so you actually spend some time answering my questions, and I'm really grateful. So I just want to say thank you very much. And if you want to follow along with my chart, I do have a link below, or if something big has happened, I usually post it on my Facebook page. So please check out my Facebook page and like it, and you'll get your my updates on your Facebook homepage. So do that if you would like to. Alright, you guys, so until later on in the week, I will see you then.